Welcome back, everybody, to the show. It's been an epic series of matches so far, and we've had the frags raining in, and it's always a great time to talk about the technology with which the frags are made. So with exclusive technologies like dynamic, accuracy, and color vibrance, Zowie monitors make it easier than ever to track enemies, control weapon spray, and secure the site for your team. Check out zowie.benq.com for more info, or if you'd like to learn more about how dynamic accuracy can affect your gameplay, just search what is DYAC. Skip right ahead to the good stuff. And I mean, talking about good stuff, Sean, as we've seen, it seems like TSM have all of it right now. FaZe have been struggling to kind of get the starts to these series that they need. Every single map, TSM goes up huge in the first half. And you can see that here on Breeze. All the highlights are of TSM. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, like you said, it's not like FaZe is showing nothing and they have nothing to offer. It's just that we see it too late. They dig themselves in these holes and they can't come back, right? TSM, particularly Bang in this game, just had so much impact on the B hits. And that's FaZe's bread and butter, right? That's what we saw that worked so well yesterday against LG. And they just had no success with it today.
Yeah, certainly. It was an interesting one. You know, going into Breeze, we both expected that, you know, this would be a good map for FaZe, given what we've seen previously from them. It's stylistically, it feels like a map that, you know, plays, you know, to their strengths in many senses. But, you know, TSM, again, seemed like strategically and tactically, you know, a lot more in tune. FaZe on the defensive side, where things were a little bit, you know, I would say, a little bit, there's less complexity in terms of the team playing, the overall coordination. We're finding an easier time getting their individuals to, you know, get those kills and to make sure that they were able to, you know, hold the action at the choke points. It was just a little bit easier to manage, but on the attack, it just seemed so difficult. And TSM worked their map a lot better. And you can see here, you know, Baby Bay has had a great series of plays. We saw that ace there on the highlights. That was fantastic. But Bang, this guy is just insane. Every time I see him, I'm impressed.
Yeah, an absolute young talent, right? He's going to be around for a long time. And I know that just not only because his aim is phenomenal, but you look at the agents he's playing. Like, he's shown like he can play Sage, he can play Duelist, like on Bind, where he plays Arrays. He can play all of the controllers really, really well, even though he doesn't really need to because they have Leviathan also playing Viper. So I just think there's a wealth of options right now when I look at this TSM roster, which is something they've never had before, right? They never had that flexibility in their comp, and they look like a force. Honestly, they are so underrated right now.
I totally agree. And I think it's I really want to bounce around with that point, and I'll take that in a moment because it's a lot to say about Bang. But let's remind everybody of the maps that we have in this series. We've played quite a few maps now, and we're getting close to the end of the series. And of course, TSM are ahead now. And FaZe stealing away that first map on Ascent due to some of the heroics we saw out of the likes of Corey on map 1. It was a 13-11 steal, and then TSM not letting the same story repeat itself on the second map. And similarly on the third map as well, you know, they get that early lead, and going into the second half, you know, TSM, you know, we see some life from FaZe, but it's just too little too late. And now moving into Haven, we're going to need to see a completely different energy from FaZe right in the first half if they are to win this grand finals.
Well, this is where things get really interesting in the series, right? Because I thought in order to win the series, I think FaZe needed one of these middle maps right here, either Split or Breeze, because their Icebox, they just don't really play it anymore. And unfortunately for them, I think TSM had the ban in this series. They banned Bind, so Icebox is floated through. It's the last map of the series. And I am not confident in FaZe if we go to Icebox, I just want to say. But Haven, both these teams are so fundamentally solid on this map. I think they have really good late defaults towards the A site. I think Wardell and Baby Bay in particular have tremendous success at opening up the rounds. And the Sentinels on both teams, Hazed and Baby J, also just really lock things down. Like, I love watching both of these teams play Haven.
And we are into the agent select, so we'll get to see exactly which compositions will be up against one another for these two teams. And it's actually a much faster lock than some of the other maps that we've had so far. And off of the bats, you know, I'm liking liking what I'm seeing. I mean, generally, if we're seeing Baby Bay and Wardell on the jet, that makes me happy. Obviously, that's what everybody wants to see. Bang on that Astra.
Dan, I think FaZe is done. I mean, this is their actual comp. I think the other games they were testing some different stuff. This is the comp they normally run. Actually, I lie. I think Baby J normally would play a Cypher on Haven, so they are kind of still tinkering a little bit with their comps. But still, they're getting a lot closer to how their team probably normally functions. The Duelists are playing Duelists, the Sentinels are playing Sentinels. Yeah, everyone's in their right role. So I think this is actually going to be a really sick matchup.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. FaZe up on the defense to begin with. We talked about, them needing to start well. Like, how do you feel about them playing defense first?
I think a lot of people believe that since FaZe has these lockdown aimers that their defensive halves should be better. But actually, I think when they're capable of sticking in packs on their attack side, when I was looking at the statistics, their attack sides are actually quite good. Across all the maps, I think they have really good win percentages on the attack sides. They pretty much play their defense like this. Oh my god!
Everybody, I don't know if they decided to pack to what happened, but everybody's fighting in mids. And okay, we reset out of that, and there's only 2 players left here for FaZe. Oof. I mean, that was crazy.
Was there 5 there? I know there was 4. I didn't see where Baby J was.
There was enough.
It might have been all 5. There was enough. Yeah, there was enough. Apparently not enough because they lost all the gunfights. Other than the one against Bang.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's gonna be pretty difficult here for Baby J and Baby Bay to get in. Oh, that nice one. That actually managed to get off there as well. That's gonna slow things down even more. And it makes it even worse because now both players have been spotted of FaZe. TSM know exactly what they're dealing with. Oh, I love that from Baby J. I mean, you gotta do something crazy. The acrobatics coming through.
I love how much of an old man FaZe is. He's thinking on my wavelength right there. He has that alarm bot, and I'm like, he could put that down for spawn. It would be a waste of money. Let's carry that into the next round. Let's carry that into the next round and save some money because this is a 4-on-2. So he actually just doesn't use it to save money. Smart play by FaZe. Yeah, this is going to be a hard half for FaZe if they can't steal this round because they're investing a lot, and the double initiator on attack of Haven allows for a lot of seesaw. Oh.
That's a stunning shot to start the round from Zachary. So they needed to win this round or find a way to do it, and that's certainly going to make things a bit more difficult. Because Sabrosa as well, that's the Trailblazer gone and the Guiding Lights. That's a lot of ways to effectively deal with these weapons and ways to clear some of these close positions. Oh, Baby J shutting down Haste. A 4v3 advantage now here for FaZe on this eco. Well, this force buy. See what they can get done. Zachary's going to definitely get a shot off here. Is he going to connect? Good swing. Baits out the shot. They close the distance. Zachary trying to use the gravity well there. Able to isolate a 1v1, but the running gun is going to work out with these Spectres. Down to Baby Bay and Raucus now. I mean, these players, Leviathan and Bang, attack really low here. They are definitely quick work for the Sheriffs. This is getting scary. Regrouping now through spawn. Okay, so Bang has some Astra util remaining. Both playing in the pocket. There's the smoke. Oh, the shock dust going to land. Wardell's just peppering away. Where's the punish? Oh, he's able to find Raucus before the punish can come through. There's still quite a bit of time to work with here. How does Baby Bay try to find a way to do this, though? Wardell is just... Oh, no, this looks like good, but still bullets left in, and that's the Red Bull clutch for Wardell. Oh, that was scary.
I love it. I love it. So what I was going to point out is that plant, you can actually drop smokes as Astro, Omen, any of the controllers, really. You can put a smoke on top of that back side box and force the diffuser to be sitting under a one-way. And obviously with Astro, you could also do gravity wells and the pulses. You could
all the fun
really
stuff.
Be annoying. Yeah, you could be super annoying with that particular plant location. Man,
okay, well,
I love the little things TSM just did that round. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we got the operator in for Wardell. And that's always going to be a scary prospect. It's actually a really fast play through mid into B, and there is a hole in B here. Some Astra utility to slow things down. We got the short take on A as well for the defenders. FaZe. Drone coming through. Ooh, straight in the face with that Trailblazer.
I wasn't aware of what would happen. That actually breaks the drone, does it not?
It should do, yeah. Any damage will break the drone.
Wow. That's a big tag then for Sabrosa.
Getting the plant in. The question is, how is the response here? You technically do want some players on the flank if you're trying to retake this B site. TSM don't have a lot of post-plant position. They do have FaZe sitting towards the attacker spawn, so he's here to deal with anyone trying to flank these positions. Baby J coming in deep from C long, though.
And Corey is also coming in from A. They can definitely play off of each other really well here.
The timing's unreal there. Corey able to take down FaZe as he turns his back to him. And now there's definitely trouble here, but Bang is still up in the action. Able to take down Baby J as well. Sabrosa also coming into the defense. And it looked like there was a lot possible there. It looked like things were lining up for FaZe, but you can see the TSM have really good protocols off of that B plant.
Yeah, I love that. FaZe has the mollies on deck just in case they need that for the spike. Bang has gravity wells to push people off the spike as well. Sabrosa with the guiding lights right in front of B main. So imagine smoking from B main and sticking that spike. He's definitely flashing coming through. I'm 100% sure. I mean, they just have really, really good protocols. Yeah, everyone was in the right spot in that post plant. Here again, flash over the wall combined with the arrow. It's just so well drilled right now watching TSM. I think maybe 2 tournaments ago we would have seen Wardell just dry peek that, right? Now they have the flash and the recon. It looks so much different.
Oh, Sabrosa really wants to get this punish in. Doesn't want to allow Corey to escape. Both flashes are used. Looking for the trade fragger. That's beautiful awareness there from Sabrosa. That is how you do it. Great stuff. TSM.
And that'll tell them that this A site's empty. And there's the flash with the Seekers I was referring to. Imagine being that A site. That Seeker's coming right up to you.
That's great.
And Sabrosa, he can just carry this all the way through to spawn. Great clearance. Oh, Baby J, that's a great shot. It is a small consolation, though, because it is a very well taken A site. That's going to be another round in the bag here for TSM. So, we talked about these slow starts for FaZe, and so far, we're not seeing anything different to that story.
Well, if our pattern holds true, Dan, I have bad news for FaZe. Maybe would love to get one frag right here and die, so he has Blade Storm. That's not going to happen. He is 1 orb short. Let's see if he tries to steal the long A orb, or if he's just going to go with a buy here and use the Blade Storm later on.
Yeah, great awareness again from Sabrosa. And that was all off of the Trailblazer opening. That got the little bit of info, and then he knew how to follow it up. And now moving into this next round, we talked about securing some of these orbs. We've got a heavy presence there from TSM towards the C long position to begin with.
Ooh, yeah, look at this. So, the Astra has a smoke back site to hide in for the recon. I think she might recall the smoke back site. The first 2 stars are going to be a smoke combined with a gravity well. This is going to be sick from Zach. Oh, please hit C. They're not going to do it. This was just for control of the orb. Get Sabrosa in the pocket.
You can see it's caused a rotation too, and they can definitely draw out some utility. So this Trailblazer plus the recon, all this info, is going to force a reaction.
That's so sick.
And look at that reaction. It's huge. We're going to get that Hunter coming through as well. The Cosmic Divide, they're really making this look like a C play, but it's a fake. They're going to A, and on the A side of things, it's just Baby Bay. Baby will get a pick with that operator. That's going to slow things down, but he's got to do everything alone right now to slow this push. They know it's a fake. Everybody's going to come over. They have to rotate from C. Baby Bay has to buy time. He's got to buy time, but he can't against Wardell. The dash updraft with the Blade Storm is going to do everything that TSM need to get this spike planted, and now it's going to be so difficult to get back in. Oh, unless the whip is there. Corey able to punish. But still, there's more TSM players where that came from.
Yeah, Bang's
down.
gravity well really put a damper on the retake. And now, just have the 2-on-2 settled in. Baby J with an amazing flank. Bang is going to resettle in long, and he's going to get this recall back.
Enemy remaining.
Oh my god, he's so damn good. Bang with the jump peek as well to Bay. More shots to flicks in, but Baby J in an off angle will deliver.
My work.
What a beautiful round here from FaZe. Baby J with just enough time to lock it in. And, oh, Baby Bay gets that pick on A long to spot the fact that it is indeed a fake. Slows things down just enough to make that doable.
Yeah, and I love watching, two top-tier jets like that. Baby Bay on the op playing A site, and Wardell with the Blade Storm knowing that there's an opping jet in that site. And just thinking about how Wardell approaches that situation with the dash updraft, just being way up in the air, cutting the space, being a very, very difficult target to hit. And the jet diff comes in.
This is a very fragile position for FaZe as well. They lost a lot of players, so their economy is kind of wrecked here. They really need to convert this second round.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Oh, no.
Corey, and now Zach also going down in garage. Okay, so okay, so it's going to be very difficult now. Baby Bay is looking for information towards a lobby, but Ace is just holding this. Oh, okay. Well, Baby Bay has to do everything here. As Raucous in garage.
Yeah, Raucous
is going to be a save.
Yeah, certainly he doesn't feel comfortable pushing out a garage in this scenario, right? You would assume someone from TSM is watching this, although no one actually is, but he wouldn't find anything even if he were to go out. So TSM with another really good post-plant setup. You can see Wardell holding C-Link, Bang holding front B, Leviathan kind of roaming around by window, and Sabros is hunting. And it looks like he might find Baby Bay here.
Yeah, Baby Bay staying alive with the operator would be so huge. Oh, especially because if they try to force it up in the next round, he can drop the operator, pull out the Blade Storm, the extra weapon, but never mind, that's all just being destroyed. Raucous is going to lose the Phantom as well, so insanely good round from TSM, just finding... I mean, they got a double entry right at the beginning in two separate locations on the map. It's so hard to deal with that when you're in the defender's shoes.
Yeah. I think there was some miscommunication going on from FaZe there, because if you looked at Baby J's setup on the A site, he had the alarm bot at the entrance to the A site, which pretty much indicates this is going to be a retake A setup, and he has lockdown available. So those two things combined with the fact that, Corey and Baby Bay are pushing A lobby, they don't really mix very well. Like that's not a very good combination. Oh no!
A little bit hairy there, but yeah, you can see. I mean, it's pretty common FaZe like to go really aggressive in these rounds. You can't blame them. You've got pistols. You want to get the action happening as quickly as possible. Bay has got that Blade Storm though.
The jet standoff. Is Wardell patient enough? Oh no. And it's happened again! These A flanks are so well timed from FaZe. Twice now. It's just unreal, the timing. Here we have a post plant C. Or he's going to make it possibly winnable. With the Blade Storm on Baby Bay, I mean, this by no means do I count FaZe out of this round. Oh, that is not what you want to see if you're Baby Bay. Going to take the op in the next round. And that's going to put TSM at 6.
TSM, continuing as we've been going every single map of this series so far. We're really, we're hoping for FaZe to find more success here, but again, it is definitely difficult, especially on Haven, if you're unable to really disrupt the way that the attackers are defaulting effectively. you know, TSM are kind of getting to play their game at the beginning of every round, and it doesn't really seem like there's any disruption for TSM. Sorry, rather from FaZe's side to throw TSM off of that.
Yeah, I'm very curious because FaZe has sat on quite a few of these ults for a long time now. So these are impactful ults. The Killjoy ult, Sova ult, the Astra. These are things that can really change the dynamic of a round. And now Corey might get the slung one.
I've got your trail.
The Hunter's Fury looking for damage. Does get some damage. No frags, though. Zachary trying to defend this garage position. That's going to actually open things up for Baby Bay as well. Nice little distraction play coming through. And Zachary might even convert another one. Baby Bay at the back of this C site, certainly an issue. Does evade getting tagged by that recon. Here's the steps coming up. He's in a very difficult position. It's going to be shotgun mode with this operator. Hiding behind the smoke. Beautiful from Corey. Coming in for the assist. Corey actually takes down the second one. Baby Bay opened up toward Del. And now looks like FaZe might be in a good spot to stabilize here. TSM lacking players, lacking position.
Enemy remaining.
And this is exactly what FaZe needed. They can still turn this half around. Is it a scary spot? Oh my goodness, Wardell. That was so fast. Wow, that was so fast.
Ridiculously fast.
30 seconds.
Ooh. Yeah, that's crazy. And I was going to say that, you know, if you're in FaZe's position right now, you really don't want to be giving up any guns here. You need to keep a strong economy. And it's just so difficult. They're hunting Wardell. They don't want to allow him to keep the operator, Sean, and it's costing them.
No. I thought it was happening. I thought he was getting that one too. I didn't think he was going to win the round. Like you said, that is an insanely expensive round for FaZe. And they're bringing 2 offs in the next round. Don't know how I feel about the double off setup on Haven because you're almost forcing one of them to retake into a site. It's Jesus, that flick.
That's awesome.
My
you can
wrist
see
hurts.
his crosshair placement was on the jump peak. It's like elevated to catch anyone doing that jump peak shenanigans, and he's still just so ready for a peek off screen. Aim lab flick of the day, question mark? We'll have to see. You have to wait and find out. Into the next round we go, and we get a very aggressive opening here from Corey using the firewall to try to make his way down mid safely. He managed to do it.
Clever. He did that to get past the turret, but it still caught him.
Wardell catches Baby J. That's just always going to happen, isn't it? Why have they done this to us? Baby Bay, on the other hand, might be able to find the follow-up, though. Operator coming into play, gets out of there. Wardell's chasing, though, with the Blade Storm. With that dash. Well, it's a barrel, but it's going to work out for Raucus there. So 4 versus 3 here. Hayes able to take down Corey in that deep mid position. This offers a recovery possibility for TSM as they go to C.
Hayes has ulted on sites a lot, so I'd expect that if he gets to C, he's going to ult on the site right here. Yup. And that's going to give them so much space for this post plant. The Molly's on the spike. Retreating along with a recon. 2 shock darts.
Yeah.
2 a gravity well. Have fun defusing that spike here.
The list keeps going. And they both are holding on to operators right now, and it seems like, you know, they're definitely thinking of holding on to these. It makes a lot of sense for all of the reasons that you just listed.
I mean, I don't even look at the minimap and look at the spike, Dan. What is going on under that thing?
I don't know. There's a lot happening. All right. Well, I mean, FaZe are definitely starting to look quite a bit better. And, you know, the double operator into the next round, assuming they continue to hold on to this one. What would you like to see out of a double operator setup?
Oh, man. Really putting me on the spot here. Wow.
Okay, another question. Win conditions on this next round for FaZe.
Yeah.
What do they need to do at the beginning of the round to get the advantages here?
That's a good question. I thought Corey had a really good idea because what's happening is Hayes is putting the turret down in mid to stop mid aggression. So FaZe, if they want to play aggressive, they might need to push mid, just break the turret to fake some aggression, and then re-aggress on an extremity as TSM has to re-clear mid. It's like a whole little mind game of how the other team is going to react and how you're going to react to that reaction. But I don't know. FaZe just seems to send it and get the frags too.
Oh, that's a early opening in favor of TSM. Okay, is looking to go aggressive with the operator here on mid. This is probably a good call, given that they need to get something going in this round after losing a player early. Well, Corey getting taken down as well. This garage defense is just getting dismantled pretty reliably by TSM. And Sabrosa does so much in terms of pressure. Oh, Baby Bay whiffs that shot. That's not
That's a
a
costly
good...
miss.
Yeah, it's so going to be so difficult to get any value here now. But Baby J coming into play, though, with that Vandal. Oh, the transfer is almost fantastic. Puts it in a 1 versus 3 for Raucus. Might be an opening here for Raucus. Catches Hayes straight in the face. 2 players, backside. And Wardell, was he dropping? He's just so fast.
Yeah, he didn't even look like he was looking at him. I thought... I didn't even think he would be able to shoot. That had to be a flick and a half, right? That was crazy.
Yeah, that really looks like... in my head, it didn't look like he could shoot that quickly and be accurate. So, and oh, this is not good as well right now for FaZe, Sean. We've got TSM sitting on the Hunter's Fury, Cosmic Divide, and the Seekers right now. It's a lockdown for Baby J, but the buy is awful.
Oh my. Wardell is feeling real confident.
Yeah, I think Bay is also feeling confident, Sean, but
yeah.
Wardell's playground right now with this operator. That's the 3K.
You don't miss. You don't miss.
Don't miss. Here comes Raucus, though. Oh, that's so
that
annoying
has to
if
be
you're
a little
Raucus.
frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Last round.
Okay, so 1 round still possible here. 1 more round, that is, for FaZe. They do have the ability to get a buy-in, I think. They've got some ults to work with as well.
I think that interaction that Raucus just had with Jet, slightly more annoying than the holding your sight, get a frag, Sage reses that frag, so you basically didn't get a frag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both of those are really high up there on the annoying list.
Okay.
You want to fight it?
Seekers
Here comes
coming
the
in.
push, the Seekers, the Cosmic Divide's in there as well.
Oh, wow.
Initial defense from Baby J. The Hunter's Fury, though, there to make life even more difficult. You can see the pressure is just unbelievable from TSM. Great series of entry frags there. Looking so coordinated. He's looking for that player that rotates off of that C side of the map. And Leviathan's going to get to it quicker. End of 2. End of the first half. Once again, Sean, it is a desperate look for FaZe. Is there hope?
Yeah. I mean, Zach just tried the breadcrumb trail of stars of smokes to get into the window. I think that's about when the hope is gone, right? But we'll have to see.
Okay.
We'll have to see.
Sean thinks the hope might be gone. Indeed, we will see after this quick break. Welcome back, everybody. It is the grand finals here. We've got TSM poised to win on Haven, map 4. Unless FaZe in the second half are going to be able to turn things around. They haven't shown much energy in this situation in the last few maps. We'll see if this will be any different, though, Sean, as we go into the pistol. Will Corey be the one, again, to prop FaZe up on his shoulders?
Yeah, if usually the way it works out when you watch FaZe is it's Corey or Baby Bit. And they lead the charge, and they often create a lot of space for the support players behind them with crazy plays. So they need these two to become active if they want to come back in this game. Ooh, nice little BT coming in.
Yeah, Baby Bay straight in there with the dash. Oh, Corey with the hot hands. Able to actually make that happen, but bangs in there with the headshots with that ghost. He's claimed himself a spike, and that is going to be difficult now. Ooh, FaZe. At least have the trade from Raucus. So 2 versus 3, but again, the spike being lost deep on the B side is certainly an issue. Wardell's flanking too. Oh no, they have no idea about this. Oh, Wardell's so quick with the flick, and that is TSM picking up the pistol. The worst has happened. 11-2, 2 rounds away from winning this grand finals. TSM looking indomitable.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Baby Bay didn't have the spike there, that take was incredible. I mean, the one-way smoke for C-Link, the Astra smoke for A-Link, the pre-planned molly for back sight as Baby Bay's dashing in. I mean, the initial take of B was insane, but I don't think it was set to be, you know, a back sight B take with a spike. Unfortunately, it just got lost in a really weird spot.
Yeah. We got a fast push here and also a force flight coming through from FaZe in towards his A site. Ordell, elevated positions, holding things down really nicely. Oh no, he's done so much damage. He's just standing there so confident. Now Sabrosa's on the flank as well. Baby J is the only frag here. Now Zachary as well, but it's not really worked out. There's no ground gained. It's up to Zachary to do everything here with a Marshall and a classic.
He recalled all 5. All 5 stars. Will he even get to use them? Oh, clay pigeon shooting. Let's go.
He's just standing in the open. He's not even moving, Sean. There goes the drone. Doesn't care. Oh my goodness. Zachary's trying. Oh, he runs out of bullets. That's so unfortunate. Okay. One of those is
playing with
two.
his food.
He really is. Oh no.
Oh,
no.
Covering it. Need that back. Taking that back.
Oh,
I don't
the
like the look of
bait
this
run
shot.
through. The bait run through. It didn't work.
Standing ahead.
That's hilarious.
Match point.
Trying to fool Hazed in B site by recalling all the smoke, so he's like trailing through them. The Leviathan's just waiting on the other side. He knows it's all. Just
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, I don't like the look of this because the Leviathan just peeks in. Just like, no. 12-2. It is a match and series grand finals point here for TSM against FaZe. Can FaZe get a better showing going for themselves? It is a force buy again, of course. Their backs are against the wall. The Spectres are coming out. We've got a Sheriff for Corey. And TSM are unrelenting. Wow, Corey, though, opens things up, but it's an even better response from Leviathan. We get the Guardian coming out from Bang to finish things off. One more player to be found is Corey with that Sheriff. Yet to be damaged. 2 players to find. Is it doable here for Corey? He actually has a spike control as well, but he's going to take the fight.
Whew, that
Expecting there to be a trade fragger. Yeah.
It was dead on the garage entrance. He was so ready for that.
And FaZe is even more ready for it. 13-2. TSM are going to win the grand finals here. Excellent work from them. In fact, I don't think there was a single point where it was really in question here for TSM. Great performance. I mean, I loved what I saw from every single player, and there was some experimental stuff, but TSM looked very focused and ready for this win, and FaZe just didn't have enough in the tank.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. I think I really, really like what I've been seeing out of TSM throughout this entire Challenger series. And they're going to have a lot of hard work for them in this Challenger playoff bracket. We talked about before, the winner of this series plays Envy. The loser of this series plays 100 Thieves. So, I mean, I'm pretty stoked because I know, like, the matchup between FNS and the boys on TSM, like, those guys are friends. They've been bantering with each other on Twitter for, like, the last year about Valorant stuff. So, this is going to be such a spicy playoff bracket. But
yeah, it
hats
really
off
is.
to TSM, man. The resurgence of this org. I mean, how do you feel about this? Like, this is so cool to have them back at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been so interesting to see how they've been trying to solve things for so long, and it's so tricky, and you have the spotlight on you, and people are very critical, but, you know, they kept their heads down, and, you know, they put their, you know, they were just been grinding, and they've been trying to figure things out, and I think slowly but surely we're starting to see that really come together. I think, you know, Bang is a true revelation for me on this lineup. Like, what he brings to the table is truly incredible. You and I actually talked a long time ago at the beginning of Valorant about how we felt like the new generation of players, it's not just going to be mechanical monsters, you know, focusing on one role. It's going to be these players that have such an insane understanding of the game. They're able to play basically every role. And that's how you're going to have the highest level of game sense. And I feel like that's where Bang is. Bang is hitting insane shots, but what's even more impressive is the positioning and just the general awareness on the map.
Yeah. Bang's awareness on the map is almost unmatched right now in the NA scene. And it's crazy because, like you said, he's playing all these different roles, which it's not just learning new abilities. It's changing your spacing and where you are at relative to your teammates in a strat, right? So if you're a duelist, you're probably going in first. If you're an initiator, you're probably second. Some controllers like Astra might be lurking on the opposite side of the map, right? Because she has global presence. So he's doing it all really, really well. And he's still so young. This is like one of those first generation Valorant players that's just going to be insane.
Yeah, totally agree. And one other point that you had mentioned previously is that Wardell really coming into his own form again. I think a lot of that obviously is to do with the fact that he has a team, a unit now that feels like it's working together more in terms of the roles. Things are fitting much better, and with that he's able to have more comfort. He's able to have the space he needs and the performance and support that he needs to be the star player that he is. And we didn't really see him needing to have that star performance. And that's something you also mentioned. Bang was basically beating into a lot of the kills in most of these maps. And so, that's just having this situation where there's this extra level that it feels like maybe multiple extra gears to go to that TSM have is super exciting for their future in the current meta and, moving into the playoff bracket. I just can't, I can't say enough of how excited I am to see all of the different matchups that they may have ahead of them.
Yeah. I mean, strategically, that's a huge step in the right direction for TSM, right? We can clearly see plans going into every round. We see good coordinated takes coming in. It's not just the Wardell show where he's just walking around with an operator taking dry peeks. Even when he wants to peek into stuff now, oftentimes there's a little bit of help. And I think that goes, I have to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff on TSM. I think Amapet there has done a great job since he's entered the team. So hats off to him.
Awesome, and it looks like we will be having an interview as well with the man himself, Wardell. So looking forward to hearing his thoughts. Oh, with I'm a Pet. Sorry.
Ooh,
I mean, and that's going to be just as good actually, because Sean, we have a lot of history with some of these old Counter Strikers. So it's always fun to see how they're also faring in Valorant and getting their thoughts as to also like what that switch has been like. So that's going to be really interesting. And I can't imagine what it feels like also to coach Valorant versus CS. I mean, the games fundamentally, there's a lot of similarities, but there's just so much more for you to play with in certain respects. Like there's a lot more variables in terms of the abilities, and the meta changes much more constantly. It actually sounds like a lot more work in some regards.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty excited to talk to Ched about these things. I think he'll shed some light on everything you just said, because we've got a little bit of insight on this. Our boy Mike's over there, the coach at Envy, right? Like he tells me a lot about what practice looks like. There's so much server side time in Valorant, and it's just such a different beast being a pro team in this game, staying on top of the ever-changing metas and finding these new quirky pieces of utility to like gift you certain rounds. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how much work it requires.
And with that said, having utility to gift you rounds, Sean, we have an awesome moment here for the Credit Karma Instant Karma play of the match, and it's going to be, I think, a pretty frustrating moment for FaZe, if I remember correctly, on this one. We saw them trying to go for those repeated B hits, but TSM finding ways to shut that one down.
Yeah, this is the exact B hit that LG just could not stop. You can see the Viper Sage combo. It's like when the poison orb isn't up, it's slowed. When the poison orb is up, you don't want to go through it because the poison orb's up. So there's just never an opportunity for FaZe to get through this choke point. And then even if they did and Leviathan lived, they have the retake wall in the back of the site. So we had to point it out. I mean, this is the clear difference between when we watch TSM play and LG play. That lockdown B defense is what gave them the breeze win.
Awesome. So it looks like we're ready to jump into that interview. So we were talking about it just a moment ago, and Chet, we've got you on the line now for the post-match Horizon interview. Congratulations. That was an epic performance there from TSM.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks very comfortable, I have to say. FaZe seem to struggle in actually getting any ground in the first halves in particular. How do you feel about preparing for a team like FaZe, which is a lot of gunplay and aggression?
I mean, they're the most unpredictable team. They do a lot of things that out of usual styles of teams. So you can't really prepare for everything, but you have to have a good mindset that eventually you're just gonna have to take the gun battle versus them, and you just have to win it, because if you respect them too much, they're just gonna overwhelm you, and you're just gonna have no chance.
Yeah, and I saw you guys did a really good job of fighting against them, in the key choke points. But something I wanted to credit you guys for is your utility usage. I think since you've joined the team, the way you guys have used utility to create openings for Wardell instead of him just taking absolutely dry peaks has been really cool to see. What is your guys' practice like server side stuff? Because I've heard things around the scene, like the hours put in just in customs. Is that a crazy amount of time for you guys, or is that more you on the sidelines? What does that look like?
Usually I'll like ask Wardell like what he's like really uncomfortable with, and then that's like gives me the next conversation piece on like what I need to do to like help him, and then I'll talk with like Hazed or the rest of the team, maybe in server time or after practice, just talking about like what we can do to like set him up, because it's really hard to just do everything by yourself as a jet opper. Every good player that you're gonna play is gonna know how to like jiggle and jump peak, and you know they're not gonna die like in normal ways. So we do everything we can to like get him the advantage, so that way like our game's very centered around him, but we also know like if he gets this space and doesn't get a kill, we still know how to win the round.
You know, going off of that point as well, you know, one of the things I wanted to ask, which maybe is tied into this, is, you know, coming into the team and coaching this team, you know, what were the main things you wanted to sort of address?
Main thing was definitely communication was not good, for sure. It was pretty rough, and even like map callouts. I think I said in like some podcast a while ago that there's no like map callouts really, or everything was like a close left or cubby.
So
like,
relative comps.
Yeah. Just like it's just like it makes it harder for you to like trade because like you don't know where to look, you know. So yeah, communication was like the biggest thing for sure. Just like that had to have been like fixed, and there's still bumps and stuff, but it's definitely a lot better than it used to be.
Nice. So my next question is about more about the future, right? Because from winning this, I think you guys granted yourselves a matchup against Envy, your boy FNS. So how do you feel about that? Because I mean, you and FNS go a long way back. Ever since I remember, you know, the Littlefinger memes.
Yeah. You know, we always have the memes on Twitter. Like I'm sure everyone in the scene like sees us tweet each other saying like, "Oh, they're gonna win Berlin. They're scrim gods," all that stuff. You know, I think it'll be a good matchup. Definitely be a fun one. Like for us personally, like they're all good friends. Strategy wise, like, you know, it'll be a clean game. Won't be like, you know, this game that we just played. It'll be a lot more structured probably. I mean, I don't know. Like I don't expect like an easy game out of them. They're definitely gonna put in a lot of hard work. That none of these games so far have been easy, and this next one definitely won't be that easy.
Well, with that said, you know, I'm certainly really looking forward to it. I think you guys are doing an amazing job. Love the addition of Bang and seeing Leviathan in there as well. It seems to be working out really nicely. Any final words here, Chet, before we close things down?
You know, thanks for supporting us. You know, I got a lot of flame on Reddit, so it's whatever at this point, but hopefully we've given you guys something to look forward to.
You guys are owning, man. Keep it up.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Awesome. So that was Chet, the coach of TSM, and I mean, I have to say, like, it's so cool to hear him say, okay, we focused so much around asking this first question. How do we make Wardell comfortable? And then we kind of build from there. And it just goes exactly to what you were talking about. You know, Wardell having the best tournament he's had in quite some time, looking really comfortable and having answers in also spots where maybe before, you know, he didn't have the support he needed. So, I mean, it just goes to show like that work is coming through onto the server. What a fantastic addition that they have in Chet, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, and I mean, Chet has so much experience coaching, and just what he said there just sheds some light on how experienced he is, right? He asked his players what they need to succeed, right? Like, what is different? What are like, why can you not dry peek into things? Well, I can't dry peek into things because this is here, right? This is changed in the meta, and then Chet thinks of a solution, right? And that is just an excellent mindset for Chet to have, and it's conveying in the results. So I love that. I love to see everything working so well for him, especially given, you know, the steps he's put in place and the clear work that TSM has put in.
Well, you know, someone that puts in a lot of work in AimLab is Corey, and so it only makes sense that we give Corey the AimLab flick of the day for some of his shenanigans on the pistol rounds. So let's have a look and see what Corey was up to. And this was the first map. And I mean, you were calling the ace here for Corey, Sean, and he almost did it.
I mean, I was kind of doing it as a meme, if I'm being honest, and I didn't think he could actually do it. And then when he got the 3 and the 4th was just right there, I was like, it's actually happening. This is insane. What an incredible clip, though. The shock darts were near perfect. The ghost clip was just dead on heads for every bullet. That guy is just an animal. Doesn't matter what agent he plays. So good.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's actually he's on the streams a lot as well, and he is an absolute aim god from the Overwatch world. And I think a lot of people were kind of bigging him up going into this game because of like how insane he was in Overwatch, and how insane he is in aim. So it's good to see that he is converting that to Valorant really effectively here so far.
Yeah, I think he has a lot to offer in this game, man. Like, just the way he can create space, the way he can win aim duels, and the more he learns about this 5v5 team-based FPS style game, the better he's going to get. Like, he's just not going anywhere. With that aim, he's going to be in the scene for a long time.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think it's time to wrap up the show here. It's been an amazing amount of Valorant that we've had here, and it's not over yet. The best is still to come with those playoffs of all these teams that have qualified, and now we have figured out some of the seeding, see where those teams are going to fit in the brackets. So congratulations to TSM. Let's check out how some of those brackets are going to be looking as we're going to be moving forward into some of those days to come in the following weekends. Let's see here. That it's going to be a hell of a show moving forward, but as we look back, we can see what these teams have had to fight through. And I think it's worth mentioning again that TSM, it's not just that they look great in this grand finals, but they were really dominant, moving through the bracket here. FaZe had a lot more trouble, a lot of 2-1s, but TSM had a lot of very strong results in these brackets. As you said, Sean, Wardell really shining, Bang really shining. This team looking complete.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could argue that they had the hardest run, right? And I think the pro players, the ones I've talked to, really rated Genji quite highly. They rated T1 very highly. They rated LG pretty high. Like, every team that TSM beat along this run, it seemed like they were a real contender, right? They were playing tier 1, maybe fringe tier 2 teams, right, along this run, and they looked really, really good. Not only today, but even going back for like a couple weeks now. Like, Chet and the squad have put in a lot of work.
You know what? Imagine if we get that TSM Sentinels matchup, Sean.
Oh my!
Can you imagine?
God, dude.
TSM actually winning that.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine all of the salty Sentinels fanboys? Like, because yeah, it's just everyone thought TSM was dead in the water, that they would never come back. Could you imagine if they just steal that spot right from Sentinels? Oh, a lot of heartbroken NA fans.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like most people have kind of closed. They thought the story was over. They closed the book. They closed the book. But it's finally. I feel like there's definitely a good shout here for TSM to do a lot of damage. They're really looking confident once again. So looking forward to those matchups. But indeed, that will bring us to a close here. So everyone, make sure that you keep your eyes on Street for more VCT action in the weekends to come here. But that's all from myself and Sean. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you on the next one.
I'll just say straight up that people that think that we're playing or not playing tactically and we're just holding W, that's like bullshit, because you're obviously not looking at like the little like fine print of how we play and the small details. You're just looking at surface level, like, oh, like gun go burr, shoot heads. Like I like really you have to really like look at what we do, how we react together as a team, and then you'll realize why we've had so much success that we've had. And that's like one thing people don't notice, and like a lot of people in the community just like, oh, these guys are just like outskilling everyone, that's why they're winning. No, that's not it.